I'm just asking for a friend here, but is Meghan Markle about to get sacked by podcast platform Lemonada? Let's put it this way, you guys. It's not looking good for Megsy. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef the Alternerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to another dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this one, shall we? Because I'm asking for a friend here. Is Megsy about to get sacked by podcast platform Lemonada? It looks like there are first rumblings of Lemonada not actually approving of Megsy whatsoever. So let me lay down the foundation for you guys, because first and foremost, earlier on this year, Megsy was dealt a major blow before the podcast even aired, before it even started. She's putting all her efforts at the moment into a lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard. And so at this point, what's happened is that the relaunch of her podcast, Archetypes, has now been pushed back to 2025. Writing that Lemonada at the time were not keen for the podcast launch to be overshadowed by Megsy's forthcoming Netflix series, which has since actually finished filming, all about cooking, friendship, and whatever. It'll be a lot of word salad, I'm sure of it. But this is the thing. Since then, she's been having trouble actually securing A-list people, the same caliber that she had when she was with Spotify and her previous Archetype show. She's now struggling to book guests for the new Lemonada podcast. So you've got Kaylee Cornelius telling the Express newspaper on Sunday, quote, while Meghan's contact list may not have completely diminished since, the whole Spotify debacle, she will certainly have a smaller pool to rely on. And so the first podcast was produced with the backing of Spotify, which likely helped the series attract an impressive selection of A-list celebrities. But as I have said, and many others have said, who's Lemonada again? I only heard of Lemonada because Megsy signed on to them. Other than that, I wouldn't have learned of them in the first place. And, she had guests on there such as Mariah Carey, Serena Williams, Paris Hilton, so many more. Despite no longer having the Spotify association, though, Kaylee Cornelius claims that Megsy could still rely on remaining celebrity friends that she didn't interview during Archetype's first series, such as Priyanka Chopra Jones. But my argument is this. You can bet your bottom dollar Megsy asked Priyanka to go on to Archetype Season 1. And as far as I'm concerned, I believe this happened. Priyanka said no. And if she said no to Series 1, she's going to say no to Series 2 as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, Haley also saying we might expect her to call in favours from her remaining friends and work through their networks. The insider also speculated that she could look to B and C-list stars, such as a former co-stars on the legal drama series Suits, which, by the way, if you missed my Daily Nerd from yesterday, Meghan Markle's podcast invite rejected by angry Suits cast. You might want to watch that, guys. I'll put a link to that video in the description bar below. But moving on from that, now it's being reported that Megsy's reputation is now at stake with the podcast deal, not only with the public, but with Lemonada as well. Mark Boardman, entertainment expert and founder of Mark Meets, telling Newsweek that Megsy has confirmed work on a new podcast series is encouraging, suggesting that the behind-the-scenes work throughout 2023 is not being wasted, with continued collaboration and content development finally coming through. Her success hinges on delivering engaging and meaningful content that resonates with audiences. Careful guest selection and thoughtful contributions would be a step forward for Meghan and could prove to be a much-needed true ratings winner. Media acclaim via award nominations only could lead to further projects, and so this new deal is more important than ever. Exactly. Yeah, you see, her reputation is on the line here, not only with the public, but also with Lemonada as well. And we now have the first rumblings of Lemonada not approving of Megxie whatsoever since they signed her earlier on this year, as insiders are saying that she is now a joke to so many people in Hollywood. Sources telling the outlet that Meghan's stock has plummeted among her celebrity friends due to her persistent efforts to build her personal brand. And you can bet Lemonade, if this is true, is absolutely monitoring this and is in shock horror that Megxie is now seen, allegedly, as a joke in Hollywood. She ain't going to get those A-list guests that she wants and that Lemonada would want for Archetypes Season 2. An insider saying that Meghan gets greedy. She wants everything all at once and it's backfiring on her again. She's become a total joke and is overplaying her hand. And, you know, with her attempting to roll out multiple projects at once, announcing the podcast deal at the same time as her new project with Netflix, the Palace Insider then turns around and says that clearly didn't go down well with Lemonada. They surely expected to be Meghan's priority project, but she must have decided she had bigger fish to fry with Netflix. And so this is the thing, right? Lemonada, here are the first rumblings of Lemonada not approving of Megxie whatsoever. She signed with Lemonada. Allegedly, Lemonada, and I would say reasonably so, may have thought, right, okay, we're going to be the first priority. She's going to work on this podcast. She's going to release it this year. We're going to have a success. Fingers crossed, blah, 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 right? For that all then to turn around very quickly to Megxie launching American Riviera Orchard and then going full throttle with Netflix and pushing back releasing Series 2 to 2025 on Lemonada? Yeah, I can best believe that clearly didn't go down well with Lemonada. Being played second fiddle to Netflix. Absolutely. And when she's now struggling to get A-list bookings on her series, and she's even struggling to get any of her old Suits co-stars to actually appear on the podcast. Again, look back on my Daily Nerd from yesterday. I'll link it in the description bar below. Yeah, I don't think Lemonada is approving of Megxie. I think they are regretting now signing Megxie on. I think they've just started to absolutely recognise that they've just been markled. And that she hasn't been called an effing grifter for nothing, guys. And yeah, I think Megxie's on her way now, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, to being sacked by Lemonada before the Archetype series, the second series, even sees the light of day. With that being said, if you appreciated this video and you want more, believe me, of course, there's going to be more, then make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe, because I'll be honest with you, help us now get to 1 million so we can also get that go play button right there and hopefully cause a Meghan Markle meltdown on Instagram. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Also as well, if you've got some very strong opinions about Lemonada perhaps sacking Megxie in the future, and I bet you do, then make sure you send me a super thanks. It's just below this video right here. We can have a conversation about this because it does guarantee a response from me. And until the next time, you guys, laters.